I'm Esther Emery and you're watching The Homestead Wife. Today I'm going to show you how I prepare an herbal infusion. Lots of folks ask me where they can start with using herbs to contribute to their overall health. And I say start with tea. Start with a wonderful, nourishing tea. For those who are looking for kind of a drastic, change your life thing, this may not be satisfying, but then plant-based medicine may not be satisfying in general. So let's begin here. So what's an infusion? Well, it's just a strong tea. An infusion is generally 1 ounce of the dried herb in boiling water in a quart jar, left to steep for 4 to 6 hours or overnight. So that's quite a bit stronger than it says on the package to steep for 5 to 10 minutes. And there are some herbs which don't do well. For example, chamomile doesn't want to be steeped for 4 to 6 hours or it will be completely undrinkable. It'll be so bitter. The process here is extremely simple. I'm also going to show you a few of the herbs that I do this with and explain to you how I fit it into my day. My first advice for using herbal infusions to support your health is to get over the idea of scarcity and small portions. These kind of dried herbs are providing you with vitamins and minerals, and your body needs these things in quantity. So it's good to think of having things around in large amounts, getting over any ideas of stinginess or scarcity. I have some herbs that are purchased, and I have some herbs that I collect myself, and I have some that I do both. Right up front here is red clover. This is purchased, but I do collect it myself. I've just run out. This right here is nettle, which I also can collect myself, although I don't have much on my property. I'm going to have to grow some on purpose. This here is raspberry leaf, which I also can collect myself. And this here is oatstraw, which I actually don't have on my property, and so this is purchased. In the back here I have mullein. This is all my own that I collected, which is why it's in a basket. Mullein particularly supports respiratory health, and because my respiratory system is the weak part of my particular physiology, mullein is a good friend to me. It is acceptable to keep your herbs either in glass or in the baskets. Some people have preferences for one or the other. There's a concern that the glass might hold water, but then if there isn't water in it in the first place, your herbs can stay dry in there, and I find that to work just fine. Herbs don't generally last more than 6 months in their dried form. So beware the temptation to get a whole bunch of stuff and then not use it. You'll waste your money that way. It's a little bit of a playful, creative process to find out what your body responds to, what feels good to you, what feels helpful to you. It may not be very scientific, but it's extremely healthful and healthy. I told you this procedure was going to be very simple. All you need to make your herbal infusion is a quart jar or a liter jar, a lid, your herb, and boiling water. So we're going to measure out an ounce, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't usually use the kitchen scale. I have a kitchen scale, and I do recommend that you have that if you want to be making your own products and making your own products for health. It's a really great tool to have, but I don't use it every time when I make my infusions. I make 1 or 2 of these every single day in the summertime, and not that much less in the winter time. So to have the scale out every single time would be inefficient, but I do recommend that you have one and try it that way so you can figure out what your amounts are. So I'm going to put my quart jar on the scale and tare the scale. Now, which one should we make? I am particularly partial to nettle. Besides mullein, nettle is my good friend in the herbal world. Nettle is particularly good for providing energy, and I sure need to accomplish a lot with my lifestyle being what it is. There's about an ounce. For nettle, an ounce is approximately 1 cup. And it looks about like that in the jar. So this is going to make a nettle infusion. I'm just putting the lid on here. This is not a canning process of any kind. And I'm going to set this aside for 46 hours. And when it's nice and cool, I'll strain it and enjoy a delicious nettle infusion. Some people like to prepare an herbal infusion at night and then have it available to drink first thing in the morning. I prefer to make mine in the morning, especially in hot weather, because it isn't as appealing to me first thing. It's appealing to me in the afternoon when I'm very thirsty. So, the way I strain my infusions is very low tech. I just use another quart jar because it's going to be convenient for me to drink it out of a quart jar, and one of these small mesh strainers. I do think it's a good idea to really wring out the wet leaves, because the best part, the richest part, the most nourishing part is clinging to the leaves. But I balance that with my attitude of abundance. So I do some squeezing out. If I feel relaxed and want to take some time with it, I do. And if not, I contribute that part to my worms, who will enjoy the material that's very easy for them to break down. There we go. This is for the worms, and this is for me. Every single day I make one of these, and sometimes I make two, and I alternate through the herbs that are nourishing herbs that contain vitamins and minerals. I rotate through the ones that appeal to me, that my body seems to respond well to, 1 or 2 per day. And I do my best to share them with my family, although I haven't quite convinced my husband, and my kids are on the fence. Almost anybody will drink a little oat straw. My kids call this strong bone tea because it's high in calcium, and that's how I've sold it to them. Oat straw has kind of a sweet flavor to it, so it's the easiest one to sell to someone who doesn't think they're going to like the tea. And of course it is acceptable to put just about as much honey as you like in the finished product. We're going to let our infusion steep for 4 to 6 hours, so it will be cool or cold by the time we're done steeping it. After we strain out the herbs, we can add whatever we like in order to make that a drink that wants drinking. When I first started, I put tonic water in mine. I had nettle tonics, which of course was a great joke amongst the family. And now I have developed a taste for nettle, so I actually enjoy it with nothing in it at all. But it's okay to put treats in your medicine. A spoonful of sugar, as Mary Poppins would say, helps the medicine go down. I've heard of people putting alcohol in their herbal teas, and certainly sweeteners of all kinds. You can have them hot, you can have them cold, whichever way allows you to enjoy the process of nourishing yourself. I'm the Homestead Wife. Thanks for watching.